Only 4 steps researching in academic business journals. Do you sometimes get thousands of hits in your initial searches? No one has the time to go through that many articles, or maybe you only get a few hits. Does that mean that there's very little published on your topic? Academic research can seem complex and frustrating, but at its core, it's actually fairly simple. This tutorial covers the 4 basic steps of researching academic business journal articles. Our goal is to help you save time and quickly find the best articles for your research. Let's take a step back and start by listing the steps. Brainstorm keywords, choose the right tool, keyword search, and cycle your search. Let's go through each step with an example. This first step usually takes just a few minutes. Think about your research topic. Are there separate concepts or ideas included with your topic? Can you think of synonyms for each of the concepts? And they don't need to be direct synonyms. Are there some broader, narrower, or related terms for each concept? Let's try it. If we were researching the topic of employee motivation, our first step would be to break the topic into concepts. In this case, we are looking at how motivation works, but not the motivation of investors or children or customers. We're specifically interested in employees, so motivation and employee are our 2 concepts. Then we quickly brainstorm other keywords, both synonyms and related terms, for each concept. Our goal is to generate lots of keywords that we can use when we move on to the next stage. And now we're at step 2. Choosing the right tool. As convenient as Google can be, it isn't always the most efficient place to start searching, and the information you want can cost money. Instead, the ideal search tool fits these criteria. It has lots of relevant material on your topic, it covers resources in the right format, for example, journal articles, and it has resources that are actually accessible without paying additional fees. And that ideal search tool, it's called a database. SFU Library subscribes to hundreds of subject-specific academic databases that, as students, you can access for free. To start searching on our topic, let's find a business-related database. So from the library's homepage, click on Article Databases, and then click on Business Administration, then on the top choice, Business Source Complete. Not only does this database cover business resources, it covers the key format we need, academic journal articles. It's the right tool for the job. So now that we have lots of keywords and the best database, it's time for step 3, keyword searching. Let's enter a few keywords for each of our major concepts into each of the search boxes. Note that Business Source Complete will automatically search for the plural versions of most keywords. Also note that the asterisk is a truncation symbol, which means that this term will search for these terms as well. So our initial search for any of these terms and any of these terms is actually searching for all of these keywords. Don't check off any of the boxes to limit your search yet. You want to have lots of results with your first search if possible. Step 4. You don't want to go through every single one of your search results, and you don't want to keep doing random keyword searches. Instead, you'll want to cycle your search. Use clues in your first 10 to 20 keyword search results to plan much more focused searches. Those clues tend to be subjects, references, cited by or times cited, authors, new synonyms, concepts, and perspectives. Let's try it. That keyword search we did has over 48,000 results in Business Source Complete. Although that number may seem concerning, it's actually a good thing. We've got lots of material to use as we try to cycle our search. So let's start by cycling the subjects. Every article has assigned to it several subjects, each acting like a standard tag that describes a dominant aspect or topic of the article. Business Source Complete gives you a list of all the subjects used in your initial keyword search results, and the list is ranked in order by which subjects appeared most often. As you can see, the subject employee motivation is very common among our results, and it covers our main 2 concepts in one. When we scan the full list of subjects, we see other terms that might be useful as we try to draw out specific aspects of the topic. For example, I'm curious to see if there's a relationship between the subject's employee motivation and work environment. Make note of some of the other subjects in case you want to include them in another search later. We now have 800 results that are more relevant to our topic. Checking off scholarly peer-reviewed articles will filter my search results even more by leaving mostly scholarly journal articles. Our initial search gave us over 48,000 results, and now they're down to 300 academic sources. If you scan the first 10 to 20 hits on your results list, there's usually 1 or 2 that come close to what you need. The title of this article looks promising, so I'm going to click it to bring up the citation and abstract. From this page, there's a ton of clues here that you can use to cycle and focus your search results even more. Take a look at the subjects assigned to the specific article that may be particularly relevant. You may spot other terms that you could add into your search. Business Source sometimes, but not always, includes a link to the cited references in many academic articles. Even if there isn't such a link in the database, you should certainly look at the references once you find the actual article. The article's authors are usually experts on the topic, so the articles and books they refer to are often extremely useful. However, the problem with cited references is that they're all going to be older than the article you're looking at. Sometimes Business Source includes a link called Time Cited in this database. Click on it to find out which newer articles have mentioned the same article in the reference lists. You'll usually see this link with articles that have been published very recently. You may also want to see what other articles the authors of your article have written. In many cases, they'll be experts on your topic and will have published multiple studies and articles on different aspects of that topic. Finally, when you scan the title and abstract of your article, you may come across other terms that you haven't thought of at first. Those additional keywords might be useful if you need to jump back to step 1 at any point. Be sure to note them down. And that's it. There's really only 4 steps, and with a bit of practice, you'll be able to work through them very quickly. This approach actually works for most database searches, including those in other subjects. That is, you don't need to learn a new research skill when you're taking a psychology or physics class. So, learn once and use often. Thanks for watching, and contact a librarian if you need any help with researching.